Hello, everybody, and a very warm welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster. It is great to have you with me, and I'm looking forward to presenting my tips for the very first day's racing of 2022 on New Year's Day. So before I go any further, I just want to wish you all a very, very happy New Year, and I hope it's a happy, healthy, and profitable New Year. As far as your punting goes and everything else in life as well, it all helps. But most importantly, happiness and health. As far as the tips went for Boxing Day, well, rubbish. I think we could sum it up best. Absolutely awful. All horses that I thought were going to run very well at decent prices for various reasons ran badly. And that is just the way it goes. You know, you do your preparation as a tipster for your tipping the same every time, go through the same processes, and sometimes you're there flying along with terrific results as we've had for so much of the year. And then for no obvious reason, things just go pear-shaped, and that's the way it has been through November and December. So I'm happy to leave those 2 months behind. What I can tell you is that for the year-end total, profit and loss to £10 each way, level bets on all my selections. Your profit, first of all, in profit, and your profit would be £1,548 and 50p. And that is the profit for a year. So you would have had some good fun following the horses, some ups and downs, and at the end of the year, you've come out on top, which is pretty good, I'd say. So remember to tell everybody you know to follow me. And if you haven't already subscribed, please press the red subscribe button just below this screen. Well, I've got 4 for you for New Year's Day, 3 of them at the big meeting at Cheltenham. Very good meeting there. And one other one at Musselburgh. So those are my 4 each way selections coming up. If you're into the shorter priced horses, I've had a good run of form overall, although again, a fairly quiet December on freebets.com, where overall doing really very, very well indeed. And you can check out those prices at the YouTube channel at freebets.com. So here at Sportsbet, let's move on with the first for New Year's Day, the first bet of 2022. And it comes at Cheltenham in the 125 race, a grade 2 novice chase, the Dipper Novices Chase, over 2.5 miles, 9 runners, soft ground there. Now, I just saw it on the Racing Post headline, they're expecting 30,000 people at Cheltenham New Year's Day. I'm not going to go into the whole COVID right or wrong, but it does seem to be asking for trouble, really. 30,000 people, I'm sure, who will have a bevy or two along the way. We know what happened from after Cheltenham 2020. Much of the racing was brilliant. So many people got infected. So I do hope the Cheltenham authorities know what they're doing. We shall see. They are working within the framework of the law as it stands at the moment, as we understand that. Anyway, Cheltenham 125, and a very hot favourite here, and a horse that at first glance is quite hard to oppose. And this is Long Press for Venetia Williams, a horse who has really improved leaps and bounds in the first half of this season. Very, very impressive. Wins in an extra handicap chase, and then that rout of a good field in an Ascot graduation chase when he was back down from 4-1 to 6-5. So they knew this horse was going places. He's now rated 148, and he will be, without a doubt, a tough nut to crack. But as you know, on this service, I'm not into putting up favourites, so I am looking to oppose him. Miller's Bank is one who will have supporters. He, of course, was third to Abracadabras in a grade 1 at Aintree in April over 2.5 miles. He won at Huntingdon on his chasing bow, and then he was still in front 2 from home in an incident-packed novice chase when he fell at Newbury last time in a grade 2. So he is a horse with possibilities. And Alan King has the mare, the Glancing Queen, who was 5th in the Dawn Run novices hurdle at Cheltenham at the festival in March, and is 2 from 2 over fences this season in listed mares chases at Bangor and Warwick, and she is improving. And of course, she also gets the mare's allowance. But the horse I like here is a decent price, and his name is Come On Teddy. Come On Teddy. Tom George trains this one, and Jonathan Burke will be aboard this 8-year-old who won a Cheltenham handicap hurdle 13 months ago in early December, where he beat On the Blind Side, who's a good horse. He beat him over 3 miles. He went on last season to finish third in the Potence final at the Cheltenham Festival, the big handicap hurdle over 3 miles, the race won by Mrs. Milner, and he was finishing really well. And he does have a good record at Cheltenham, this horse, Come On Teddy. He made his chasing bow at Uttoxeter on December the 7th. He did look as if he'd been enjoying his nosh in the weeks prior to that run, a little bit burly. After an 8-month break, he was held up. He jumped a little deliberately in the early stages, but he really got going in the second half of the race, started to pass horses from the last in the back straight, and then came right back onto the bridle, 3 out. He stayed on well, led at the last, and then he had to be all out in the end. I think he probably blew up on the run-in, but he was driven out and stayed on to win in really eye-catching style. His jumping in particular over the last 5 or 6 fences was very slick indeed. Now, I think he could be the one to give the favourite long press most to think about. And if the favourite runs below par or makes a mistake, he will be the one to take advantage. And even regardless of if the favourite runs to form, I do feel that Come On Teddy, a horse with a touch of class over hurdles, remember, third at a Cheltenham Festival last season, I think he's able to make a proper race of it and run a big race. And at the time of this recording, on Friday lunchtime, New Year's Eve, he is a 9-to-1 shot generally, and that's each way. So 9-to-1 each way for Come On Teddy in the Cheltenham 125. Now, the second choice for me at Cheltenham is just over half an hour later in the 2 o'clock, which is a grade 3, 2.5 mile handicap chase, one of these terrific handicap chases at Cheltenham, which we all love. 16 runners, soft ground. Betting firms, I think, will be betting, many of them, 5 places. Some will go 6. So remember to shop around, look at the odds comparison sites, and then go where the best odds are available. Now, about 11-2, the field is what we're seeing at the moment, with Barnaviddaun, a marginal favourite for the Skeltons. This horse has had the 1 run so far this season, 4th of 4, but in a hot race behind Brave Mum's Game. And he obviously is of interest, but not for me. It looks like there's been money around for him. The Skeltons are such a shrewd outfit, you can't dismiss that lightly. Now, one horse who has been capturing the headlines this season is Cool Cody. And he's back, of course. He won in terrific style in the Racing Post Gold Cup last time. He's only gone up £4 for that win at the track, and I'm sure he's going to give another very good account. Venetia has got Funambulous Sivola, who's a very classy horse, and was a good second in the Peterborough chase last time out. And that's a grade 2. Also finished second and not beaten far at all behind Shishkin at Aintree in April. So this is a horse with a lot of class as well, but plenty of weight to go with it. Zanza for Philip Hobbs. Well, this one finished really well to be second to Cool Cody last time out. It's £2 better for 2 lengths. And then you've got Galahad Quest, who was 5th to Midnight Shadow in the Paddy Power Gold Cup at the meeting in November, and then fell at Aintree when travelling perfectly well in the halfway stage of the race. But I take a chance here on a horse at a really decent price, and his name is Riders on the Storm. Terrific name. He's trained by Richard Hobson and is the mount of Nick Schofield. Now, this is a horse originally trained in Ireland by Tom Taff, where he was pretty useful. He then went on to join Nigel Twiston Davis, and he did well, winning in particular. You may remember he raised a lot of eyebrows. If I had any eyebrows, I'd be raising mine as well. Mine have just about disappeared. But he won the Grade 1 Ascot Chase on soft ground, beating Janica back in 2019. And that was an exceptional performance. He really does love soft ground, this horse. And then not very long after that, he was going really well in the Ryanair Chase at the Cheltenham Festival when he fell at the third last in the race won by Min. So he's a horse who has a lot of class. He was rated 162 then, only had 3 runs last term. When he lost his way, he went right off the boil, and then he made the move to Richard Hobson's yard, a smaller outfit, pretty shrewd operator, Richard Hobson, and he joined him only a couple of months ago in November 21. And he ran after a 287 break and with a tongue tie on. And he was a very good second on his first run for the yard, second to Clan Legend at Aintree in very testing ground. I think only a couple actually finished in the end, but they'd gone so far clear of the rest, all the others just hoisted a collective white flag. And he'll be fitter for that run. He's had a little break since it. And I think he has every chance of running a big race here. And when you think how well he was going in that Ryanair chase, he is £15 lower now. Okay, maybe not quite the same horse, but looks to have been refreshed and rejuvenated by the change of stables. And I think he's got a sporting chance. And even with the horses all getting older by 1 year on January the 1st, he's only a 9-year-old. And I think 14-1 each way. And that is for 6 places with Skybet and William Hill. They're the best offers at the moment for 6 places. I think that's a pretty good offer for riders on the storm at Cheltenham in the 2 o'clock. And then I'll take you on to the Paddy Power Handicap Hurdle at Cheltenham, the 235, which is over 3 miles. It's soft ground. There are 14 runners. And wouldn't it be great, sort of heartwarming start to the year for those neutrals to see old Kansas City Chief do it again, because he's already done it twice at Cheltenham this season. He's going to be a 13-year-old on New Year's Day, so a teenager no less. Kansas City Chief, and Victoria Malzad, who rides him, seems to get the very best out of him. And she won on him last time out when he beat Botox House, and that one will reoppose. The favourite, though, is likely to be Fergal O'Brien's Art Approval, who won a 2 mile 5 furlong handicap here last time in November, has gone up £8 and is also going into unknown territory up to 3 miles on a more testing surface. So although he's a horse open to improvement, he does have to prove he stays in this what appears to be a slightly better race. Now, an unexposed horse for Ollie Murphy is Tamar Bridge. Only 5 runs and it's won 4 of them. It won by a short head, just scrambled home at Aintree last time out, over 2.5 miles. It's gone up £6, but there could be more to come. It may well turn out to be a better horse for the step up in trip, but this is tougher. And Philip Hobbs has a horse called Pylon, who you may remember sticking to its task really well up the stiff Sandown Hill last time out to win. He's gone up £6 as well. So those are the horses more to the head of the market. My choice, though, is a horse called My Bobby Dazzler, trained by Mel Rowley and the mount of Alex Edwards, who claims £3. Now, some of you may or may not know Mel Rowley, but she's been doing really well this season. A trainer who I think cut her teeth in the point-to-point sphere. She's also been very much involved in the dressage scene over the years. And so far this season, she's had 74 runners in total, not that many, it's only a small yard, but 12 of them have won. And that is a 16% winning strike rate, 1 in 6. So that essentially, I think a lot of big yards will be pleased to be striking at 16%. So this is a trainer to keep an eye on, Mel Rowley. Now, My Bobby Dazzler is an up-and-coming horse at this trip. It's won 3 of its last 6, and all of those have come at Aintree. Okay, that is a flatter track and less testing than Cheltenham, but clearly is a horse who is improving very fast indeed. Indeed, last time out, it won by 21 lengths off a mark of 118. And that was its first run, by the way, at 3 miles. And it seemed to improve out of all recognition for stepping up to 3 miles. So that's why I think this trip is going to really suit. Now, the thing about this horse is that even though he's gone up a stone, I think he could still be ahead of the handicap, possibly a Potemps final horse if they try and qualify him for this. Now, he has had a run at the track, so we know he can handle Cheltenham. And that was when he was 4th in the race behind Art Approval over 2 miles 5 furlongs. I think the combination of the longer trip and the easy ground here is going to see My Bobby Dazzler have a great chance of reversing the form with its conqueror at Cheltenham in November. So for me, a horse who really could be a horse to make the name of trainer Mel Rowley. And I think he's going to run a massive race. 10-1 is offered each way, and that's for 5 places. at the time of this recording with Bedfred and William Hill. So I think my Bobby Dazzler could be a right Bobby Dazzler here for Mel Rowley and Alex Edwards in the 2:35 race at Cheltenham. And then for my final choice on New Year's Day, I take you back to half an hour earlier, which is going to be at Musselburgh. And at Musselburgh, the 2:10 race there is the Hogmanay handicap hurdle. Now, this is a good race. It's over very nearly 2 miles. There are 7 runners that go in these forecasts good to soft. Now, this is a £30,000 contest, so it's a hot little race. And Donald McCain, who is absolutely flying this season. I mean, his number of winners, I think he's very close to the 100 mark, if he hasn't already passed it. But he won this race last year with Blakeney Point, who goes again and tries to follow up. He also has a 3 times course and distance winner called 5 and 20, who's returning from a wind operation. And this horse, 5 and 20, likes Musselburgh because he's also won there on the flat. Now, Paul Nichols sends one all the way up to Musselburgh called Christopher Wood, who won the Scottish County Hurdle over the course and distance in February. He's only £1 higher, but he hasn't been in the very best of form of late. And one suspects that Paul is kind of hoping that a return to Musselburgh is going to spark a revival in Christopher Wood. Now, Tommy's Oscar, what a great horse he's been for the excellent Anne Hamilton, who is a trainer of the highest caliber with the amount of ammunition she has. She does so very well. And this horse is on a hat-trick after wins at Haydock and Doncaster, but he has gone up a total of £12. So you have to take that into account. While John Quinn has First Impression, who won at Wetherby in November and then unseated his rider last time out, went favourite, and he was well back that day. So you'd imagine connections might be out to try and get their money back. But there's an Irish raider in this race that I really like, and her name is Anna BUNINA. She's trained by John McConnell, a trainer that I follow really quite closely, and Simon Torrens is an excellent young Irish jockey. Now, Anna BUNINA is a 6-time winner. 4 of those came on the flat when she was trained by Jed O'Keefe, where she won decent level handicaps up to 1.5 miles. Now, she won a maiden hurdle at Cork in July of 2020, and then she won soon after that at Sligo in a novices hurdle. But you may remember that she ran in the county hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival in March. And after being quite some way behind, she really did pick up in the closing stages and was beaten only 5 lengths by Belfast Banter, finishing 8th of the 25 in the county hurdle. And she's a horse who has plenty of ability. She went on after that to come to Ayr for the Scottish Champion hurdle, and she was an excellent second to the very useful Milkwood, and that was in April. Now, she's a horse who's gone well fresh in the past, so I'm thinking that the 258-day absence won't be a negative, and the fact that John McConnell chooses to travel her over from Ireland to Scotland on New Year's Day, when I'm sure many of his staff would much prefer to be closer to home. I think that's a tip in itself. He does run one earlier in the day at the same track, but I think Anna BUNINA is the one that they will be focusing on. And it's also worth noting that John McConnell on his raids at Musselburgh has a 38% strike rate in hurdles, which is pretty exceptional. So he seems to target hurdle races at Musselburgh. Now, there are just the 7 runners, so each way betting is borderline here. Anna BUNINA is 9-2 at the time of this withdrawal, so I'm recommending if it's 9-2 to bet it for the win. But if she goes out to 5-1, and it could be that she might, and I know some bookies are already offering 3 places, 5-1, if you can get the each way, then you'd be wise, I think, to do that. But at 9-2, I'll be playing for the win. And it's 9-2 offered with Bet Victor, Ladbrokes and Corals at the time of this recording. So she's my 4th and final choice on New Year's Day, Anna BUNINA at Musselburgh in the 2:10. And that just about wraps it up for this weekend. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a great New Year's Eve. And again, I wish you a very happy and a very healthy new year. I shall be back with selections next Friday for next Saturday's racing. But for now, from me, Paul Alster, that's it. Let's hope they run well for us this weekend. Bye-bye for now.